Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Owen talks about sports and movies. Thank you for checking out today's video. Always appreciate the support. Let's get into it. So WandaVision has come to an end, and I'm just going to say I really liked it. It was quite the MCU project from start to finish. It was really interesting. It was really different. I'm going to break down, along with some other people, what we thought about the show and just general thoughts and all that good stuff. Make sure you leave your own thoughts in the comments below. I know there's a lot of not controversial, but a lot of interesting talking points about the show. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Let's go. But I am going to issue a major spoiler warning. There will be spoilers for everything related to this show in this video. All right, let's get it. Before we get into actually any topic, I'm gonna introduce you to my special guest today. First, we got Truett.
Hey.
Yeah, this is my boy. This is his first appearance on the channel. He's been watching every Friday with me. And, of course, the boy Justin.
What's up?
Third time on the channel. He's doing great. We got a live audience today, actually.
Yes.
We got PJ, big PJ, Coppell, Texas, man. And Cordell, he's in the corner. He's just vibing.
He's in timeout.
He's doing great. He's doing great. All right, guys. So, y'all obviously enjoyed WandaVision.
Yes.
I believe, Truett, you said it was what?
It's my favorite MCU product they put out. Like, oh,
Bang.
It's so good.
Bang. There we go. So
That's certified.
certified. That's valid. That's
Sticker.
valid. Okay, so before we get into any specific plot points, we're just gonna talk. One of the things that we really loved about the show was all the different Wanda's different costumes and fits and all like that.
It drives the plot.
This is the plot.
This is the
it.
plot.
The
This is
whole
the
video
plot.
we're talking about this.
But in all seriousness, we've had kind of a lengthy discussion on Elizabeth Olsen has established herself as, at least in our opinion, one of the most attractive actors or actresses that we're talking.
And it's just how she
we put her in Megan Fox territory. So she's up there. She's up there.
It's like her attitude when she's acting like that.
Yeah. Elizabeth Olsen has done a great job the entire series. The ability to bounce from the kind of happy-go-lucky kind of start to a very more serious ending, which we'll cover in more depth, of course. But I think we're all three in agreement that our favorite outfits are her new Scarlet Witch costume, which honestly, in my opinion, is probably in my top 5 favorite superhero costumes. Her Halloween costume's great. The 70s one, that was our favorite for a long time. That was our favorite for a long time. But Truett, one of his favorite was the 80s one.
Yeah.
We did not rank them high.
That
That
high.
goes higher on.
But because
That's
Truett
okay.
said it's got to get up there.
That's okay. So
You know.
it's good. But all her outfits were good, even the 50s and the 60s, and even when she's looking rough, she's still just awesome. That's a long way to reach. So the main thing that we are most impressed with is how this show is able to progress from each era of sitcom and style of sitcom, and just the way it all makes sense and how it keeps you intrigued through all the mystery that's involved. And one thing that we noticed was how it got looser in air quotes. I'm gonna let Truett elaborate on that.
First of all, like you said, the whole format of this show is so interesting to me. It's so creative, so I feel different than honestly anything else I've seen. And one part of that I noticed was at the beginning, it's a perfectly produced sitcom, and it goes through 60s, 70s, 80s, but the 60s one is perfectly produced. It's like every line. It's quick cuts. Every line goes off.
It's like when Wanda's really in control.
Yeah, she's really in control of the show. And then as it progresses, it's sort of disintegrates. And by the end, it's not really a sitcom anymore. But even in between, just the lines aren't as funny, or they don't make quite as much sense, or the cuts aren't as good. That's just one little detail I just thought was interesting. I don't know.
And yeah, I mean, it just never feels like there's really a dull moment. It doesn't really ever you're never there just why is it the plot just stopping right now?
Yeah.
Every moment is important.
And
in the show.
it's always switching. Just that exploration of what she's going through, applied to I don't know, I guess the societal.
We live in a society.
Yeah, the societal format of sitcoms, but we do live in a society.
No, but I mean, they pretty much nailed it on the head. And I think that what's really interesting this, I am kind of a sucker for characters that go through a lot of grief or are kind of tragic characters. So this kind of character study of Wanda dealing with her grief and trauma has always had me intrigued, and just the way they did it was really good. Obviously, Wanda's a great character to deal with this because she's got these reality warping and creating powers.
Exactly.
And so I think she was the perfect character to explore this kind of story. And I think just from a plot perspective, they nailed it. Maybe it was a little disappointing for some people that all their theories and stuff panned out. But if you genuinely thought that the rabbit was Mephisto, I mean, maybe your theory was a little far stretched.
I think it was just a meat-eating rabbit that ate a cicada.
Yeah, which was, I mean, I was all in it too. I was like, oh, Ralph is Mephisto. Oh no, the rabbit's Mephisto. I was all in on it too. But I don't think it's a disappointment. I don't think there was no Luke Skywalker. I'm not disappointed there was no big Luke Skywalker cameo. Mainly because I don't know if anyone, for me personally, can meet that type of level of cameo like Luke Skywalker in The Mandalorian. I don't know if anyone present or that would have been logical would have made sense. If that makes sense.
Yeah. And so, and like the side characters, I mean, they're another big point of the plot story. How they every character has a reason to be there, and they're all amazing.
Exactly,
amazing what they do.
Yeah, I mean, like Monica Rambeau, Darcy, Jimmy Woo. They were a great, entertaining trio of like other protagonists in the show. Really was interesting. They were driving the plot of everything outside of Westview. I would be totally cool with an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show or Agents of S.W.O.R.D. show where they're the leads or whatever like that. Hayward, oh my gosh, all my homies hate Hayward. Well written, not supposed to be liked.
The perfect character to hate,
and he's just the worst. When he's like, well, that's the thing, Wanda. He's not yours. Oh, I was like, ooh,
messed up.
I was like, incorrect choice of words, my guy.
For no reason. But, out of pocket.
And Agatha, who I did not think was going to be the big bad, but she kind of ends up being the big bad. If y'all agree with that statement.
She is one of the better villains of the whole MCU. I mean, you just can't help but admire her character. I mean, she's really crazy good.
Like the way they built her in, and like how they went back to the scenes that she had been in, and she like turned to the camera and winks. Like, I don't know, it's pretty cool.
They revealed it at the perfect time. It was
really good. And White Vision, Cho was really, really open to his Ultron. He was.
I thought that was going to be like some kind of consciousness of Ultron,
but Cho was a little disappointed. That's okay.
No, but it was still really interesting. Go.
Okay, you break down your little thing.
All right. So my favorite thing is I've known the paradox or the experiment or the mind theory of the ship of Theseus, and the way they implemented that into the show perfectly resembles the WandaVision, and the White Vision that they introduced later in the show. The ship of Theseus there's a ship and it's named Theseus, and they start replacing planks that have rotted out, and eventually they replace the sails and they replace the mast, and so is it still the ship of Theseus because it's completely new, and they take the old parts and make a new ship? Is that the ship of Theseus?
Right.
Or neither of them, or both the ship of Theseus? And just the way they kind of stop fighting in the finale, and they just realize who they are, and that neither of them are the real Vision, and both of them are Vision in a way.
Yeah.
I think it's just crazy good how they explain that in the finale.
Yeah. That's a perfect explanation. I couldn't have said it better myself. And then, of course, we can't talk about WandaVision without talking about Vision. I think it was interesting to see him I'm talking about Wanda's Vision, be emotionally attached without any context of why he's attached and everything like that. And maybe got a little shafted, kind of. But
they did my boy dirty.
But this kind of became a Wanda Grease story as opposed to an exploration of their relationship, which I think is fine. It's fine.
What he said, I think he did say it in the finale. He started out as Jarvis, a voice with no body. Then he became Vision, a body but not human. And then he said, "Now I'm real.
Yeah,
but I am not Vision."
I agree. And then Billy and Tommy, they were good. They were good additions to the show. And we talk about how Hayward was totally ready.
He emptied the clip.
He emptied the whole clip. 100% was ready to shoot those kids.
On kids.
Just no hesitation. Just the whole clip, the entire clip.
And he saw Monica stand in front of him and just kept going.
He just kept going.
Yeah.
Okay. Next, just to wrap things up, we are going to go through the episode rankings real quick, and we're just going to talk about each episode real quick. So I think Oh.
Uh-huh.
So coming in at 9th, we got the first episode. It's just, the first two really, it kind of had to, like, set up everything, so it didn't have the luxury
Although
of,
it was
like...
necessary.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of the rest of the show,
And I think it says a lot for this series that these are technically the worst episodes, even though
they're still really good, interesting,
Yeah.
really well put together.
And we're kind of the same thing for episode 2 as well. They didn't have the luxury to forward the plot because they had to build the world and stuff like that. So that's why they check in at last. But
that episode was hilarious.
But they're good. Yeah, I thought the Matter show
by
was
no means bad.
No. And at number 7, we got on a very special episode.
This was the 80s.
Yeah, this was the 80s one. Honestly, like I wasn't like just a huge fan of like everything that was going on. I don't know. It was kind of weird. I just didn't really mess with the vibe.
And at the time, we didn't really know what was happening, so we're just kind of lost while all this crazy stuff.
But the scene when Wanda walks out with the jet, I was like, oh yeah. That one. Was... Honestly, I was really contemplating putting episode 5 last, but then with that one scene alone, it's at least got to jump up a few spots. Sorry, we're having technical difficulties. Okay. And number 4, we got interrupt this program. I think what's important about this episode is it kind of like gave a lot of context to the first 3, which I think was super important.
Yeah.
And
this is the episode with where Wanda sees the vision that was in the sword.
Oh yeah, like the dead vision.
That
was terrifying. That was terrifying.
I mean,
that was terrifying
for sure.
Next we got all new Halloween Spectacular.
I mean, that's just a really fun episode.
Yeah, this is just the most fun episode. You can see everyone in their Halloween costumes, everything like that. We start to see Agnes's like turn to maybe not just being a helpful, nosy neighbor. She's kind of a little maniacal and asking a lot of questions, stuff like that.
Yeah,
stuff in this episode. And coming in number 4, we got In Color. I think maybe the happiest episode. It's just it was just a whole vibe,
and then it just turned at the very end when
it was really like the ideal of what you can tell Wanda wants.
Yeah, this was
like it was
I agree.
Like that played out, and that like
the kids were born, the twins.
Yeah, it's just everything is ideal, everything is going the way she wants it to, and like to have that set up, and then everything obviously,
and then the ultimate just twist of intensity, just cranked up to 11 at the end with her and Monica. That was really well done.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. Why is this not working? It's fine. Oh, that's totally in the way, but it's okay. This next one is Breaking the Fourth Wall. This is the Office-styled episode, which I all really enjoyed because The Office is my favorite TV show.
And then they threw in the bop of a song, Agatha, all along.
Yeah, and then it's where Monica gets her powers, and there was a lot to this episode.
This was, a jam-packed,
Yeah.
This was an explanation episode.
Yeah. And then coming in at number 2, we got Previously On. Honestly,
heartbreaking.
I watched this episode 5 times. There was something about this episode that I like character studies, stuff like that. Just to be able to go back, and this episode not only added a lot of context to this show, but a lot of other projects in the past, like really Age of Ultron and stuff like that.
And it shows why she did her certain sitcoms the way she did.
And just shattering.
That's what she started with. That's what she's like. That's her ideal since she lost that child.
Right. And just absolutely heartbreaking. The little note that says to grow old now on their house plans, just.
And just one more. Agnes is absolutely ruthless.
Yeah.
Or Agnes is ruthless in this episode.
And then coming in at number 1, the series finale.
So good.
They teed up. Wanda, she tees up. She gets her costume. When she's in a given space, only the witch who cast them can use her magic. Oh, that was.
Thanks for the lesson.
Oh, that she was on her game. She was 100% on her game. So thank you for watching today's video. I know it probably got a little lengthy, but way all the talk and everything like that.
It's just too good not to talk about that long.
Just make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. Leave your thoughts on the series below. True and Justin, they'll be back, and I'll be back.